Well, greetings again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt at the American Orthodontic Society, and I want to just talk to you this morning about some cases and things that I have learned over the years that I've been doing orthodontics. Several years ago, I went to New York to listen to a national speaker who was going to explain something about temporomandibular joint problems and everything. And I want to just in a short way tell you what I learned at that particular time. I'm just going to draw some stuff here. So I went to hear this man, and there were people there from all over the country, and a large room of people listening to this gentleman. And let me get over here, and I want to draw something. He was showing a TMJ problem where somebody had a, let's see, I need to get my deal going here. Let me go back. Excuse me for this delay. Okay. I'm going to just draw some stuff here for you, kind of show you what the man was talking about. In other words, he had a patient in that had a deep bite. In other words, the anterior teeth were like this, and he opened the bite up to where the lower teeth were closed up into something like that, and he opened the bite up to where the lower teeth closed more or less right up to edge to the other teeth. And that solved the problem by moving the jaw forward that far. Here you can see he moved the jaw out that far. And now when he did that, that opened a gap between the back teeth back here. This is same distance that he dropped the bite down here, he opened it here. And this problem solved the TMJ problem. In other words, he advanced the mandible in a deep bite case. He just brought the lower jaw forward out here and touched the teeth that were in the deep bite like this. And that left a gap between the teeth back here in the back. And now, instead of correcting the problem up here, he comes in and he crowns these back teeth with crowns that fit against the upper teeth here. He opened the bite and put crowns that were taller than that on all the lower teeth back in here, and he had it out front. And now this resolved his problem that he had. And the problem all the time was that the condyle back here was too far back in the fossa, and it was imposing pressure on the retrodiscal tissue. So he he opened the jaw, brought the condyle out to somewhere like this, and now this solved the problem. Well, I thought to myself, this is ridiculous, not knowing what could be done. Why didn't he intrude the upper and lower teeth, and then the jaw could have moved forward without doing any crowns whatsoever? And I was in the audience, and I felt, this is so ridiculous, the way he doesn't understand orthodontics, so he understands that he can crown those teeth and fill that space and keep the person meeting out here. Then he doesn't have this problem back here in the back. If all he had to do was lower raise the upper anteriors and lower the lower anterior, open the bite, and move the jaw forward in that manner, and that would have moved this condyle out away from the retrodiscal tissue and solved the problem. So this was absolutely wrong. Now we're messing with this 5G and 5.5G, and the way that we're looking at it like that is this fifth generation or something, and it doesn't make a bit of difference in the world if you wanted to call this. Now we know that if we could intrude these teeth up here, you could move the jaw and solve this problem, and that whether you want to call it a 5 generation or a whatever, that's the fact, and so it helps. And that, I just wanted to get up and tell the man, my goodness, why didn't you learn some orthodontics? But I kept my mouth shut. There was a huge bunch of people there, and he was teaching them that this was the way to correct this problem that we had with the temporomandibular joint. And now I want to go skip that deal, and we'll go back to this, and I want to start here. I heard another national speaker that was telling how to correct TMJ problems. He and an old surgeon went around all over the country lecturing on this, and he was pretty well known, and he knew what the problem was. And I was teaching a group of dentists, and one of them said I was in this gentleman's office when a lady came in with her husband from Ohio, I believe he said, and she was having discomfort and hadn't slept without pain in her jaw for a long, long time, and she was having so much trouble. And the lady had a deep bite with the upper anterior teeth over the lower anterior teeth like this, and the jaw wanted to come forward. This guy realized what the problem was, and the way he solved the problem, he just cut the teeth off. He deadened this lady's teeth, cut the two front teeth off, did root canals on them, sent her back to her hotel, and the lady came back the next morning. Now, I didn't see this, but this gentleman in my lecture had. He said, I was there. The lady came in the next morning and hugged the guy's neck, said it's the first night she'd had a good night's sleep in I don't know how long. And so she had to go in and put crowns on the teeth later back to correct this where the jaw could stay in that forward position. And I thought to myself, what a ridiculous way to treat a problem simply because we did not teach our dentists how to deal with temporomandibular joint problems. And so the reaction was, however, the man knew how to grind teeth off, which is give him a hammer and he learned to fix everything with a hammer. In other words, he just ground the teeth off. The jaw could come forward, and now the problem was over. Now they just had to put crowns on the teeth that come out here. The root was going this way, and now they put the crowns going out further like this. And I thought, such a ridiculous thing. Why don't we teach general dentists, everybody that's messing with teeth, how to correct a TMJ problem where the jaw needs to move forward? So I thank you for watching. I hope you gained something from this. And anyway, I learned this years ago, and hopefully this is some of our 5G information that we're going to be talking about. All of this is the facts in life do not change. I don't care what kind of G you have in front of the cause here. So it may be that we're dealing with the generation cause back here. Now, hopefully people will learn how to deal with this properly. So I'm going to hush and go on, and I thank you for listening, and I will close this out. I hope you'll join our channel. I'm going to talk about some of these other problems that we have in orthodontics and how we have to change the way we're thinking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to close out here.